So one may find themselves asking themselves, how does Alabama go from giving up so many points, 48 points to Ole Miss, to shutting out Georgia? A few factors actually, including Ole Miss having a more talented offense with a motivated Lane Kiffin, Georgia's offense being merely good / average, and that may be up to debate a little bit, not great. Adjustments from the Bama defensive staff and players being a lot more disciplined, including batting down balls at the line of scrimmage, but we're not going to focus on that today. I'm going to focus more on the last couple of factors I mentioned, which was the adjustments from the Bama defensive staff and the players being a bit more disciplined. But before we do that, I want you to subscribe to the channel and turn on your notifications so you can see every video that we have. Join the Discord so we can have more college football conversations. And if you want to support the channel, I want you to watch this whole video and then watch another video right afterwards, because that's a signal to YouTube to push the channel and the content to more people and a wider audience. So thank you for that. But without further ado, we'll talk about these plays and some of what I saw. So Pete Golding and the defensive staff decided to play much more zone coverage than we've seen from the Bama defense over the years. They realized that some of these young players need to see the things in front of them, and that was helpful to a degree. Combine that with the players, or some of them, playing assignments better, and there had to be an improvement, and we saw that. The series, or at least the end of the series, I'm going to show you highlights that I believe when Bama got pushed into the red zone, and then they had 3 straight plays where they really just shut it down. And I'm going to start highlighting those plays right now. So this is in the fourth quarter. Alabama's up 41-24. Georgia is still trying to score. This is the middle of the fourth quarter here. 7 minutes and 29 seconds left. It's 1st and 10. Ironically, Alabama is playing man defense here after I just talked about the zone defense adjustments. The nickelback man blitz here versus the Georgia 11 personnel, which is 1 running back, 1 tight end, and 3 wide receivers on an inside handoff. Just about the whole front plays this run well. Bama has the numbers advantage here with the blitz on the edge by Malachi Moore, so they have 7 on 6 blockers. Notice how Moore gets the edge here and maintains that leverage instead of overplaying it. And that alone is great. Also notice how Christian Harris, that inside linebacker, fills in the right side A-gap just like he should on this play. This is a proud moment because last year he was a bit hesitant because he was learning. But seeing this is an excellent sign of playing sound, disciplined football. He filled this gap like he was supposed to, and that dissuades the running back from going there and would push them somewhere else. Notice that Christian Barmore holds his ground against the right guard as well and is not pushed off the line of scrimmage at all. This allows Harris's gap fill to be even more effective since the running back wouldn't be able to cut back inside of him. On that note, Justin Ebogbe at left end did a wonderful job maintaining and playing his leverage as well. He pushed a yard upfield and created a nice barrier on the edge with the outside leverage, which would have forced the running back into Christian Harris's hole. So you see how everyone's role is working together, and DJ Dale was double teamed at right end, but he only lost about a yard of leverage with Dylan Moses behind him, so they had a little bit of backup. All this said, Chris Allen shut it down from the beginning with his aggressive attack on the mesh point. He came crashing down past the double team and behind the pulling offensive lineman. It was almost too aggressive, but I saw him reading the pulling lineman before he smashed, and it was a thing of beauty because that play just shows you the power of when everyone does their thing well, the offense has to stall because the defense is doing what they need to do. And if you add a little bit of aggression to that, then you can make explosive plays where you get a tackle for a loss in the backfield. The running back had no chance to cut outside or inside to Harris, or try to bounce the ball outside to the left side of the line of scrimmage. So all in all, the front did very well here, and that was well done. You have to give it up for them. A lot of people have been criticizing the Alabama defensive team, but when you see a play like this, you got to praise them. Now, we're going to go on to the next play on this series, the literal next play. It's 2nd and 14, 6 minutes and 52 seconds left. Georgia's in 11 personnel again, 1 running back, 1 tight end, 3 wide receivers. Alabama's playing a nickel defense again, with 3 corners and 2 safeties. This is zone coverage. You can tell because the Bama corners aren't lined up directly over the wide receivers. They aren't aligned. Notice Surtain is far out left at the bottom of the screen, and there's no receiver there. Moore is far inside, almost like a linebacker. Looks like a pattern match zone cover 2. Watch the 2 safeties overhead drop back over the top. So Dylan Moses, Christian Harris, and Malachi Moore play the middle of the field with hook-like zones, while the outside corners play pattern match flat zones. Everybody can watch the offensive players in front of them. It was the perfect defensive call because Georgia called 3 short curl routes in the middle of the field, and Bama's 3 hook zones picked it up perfectly. Bennett went for the short curl against the Christian Harris zone, but it was forced incomplete by Christian Harris. Also take note how Josh Jobe played the wide receiver in his zone. He executed the pattern match zone so well as he carried the wide receiver into Dylan Moses' zone before bailing out to James Cook, who was going on the wheel route. All in all, this was just a well done defensive play. Good job, defense. You executed that play very well. So now we're going to go on to the last play of this series where Alabama got off the field on 3rd and 14, 6 minutes, 45 seconds left. The next play after that previous one, Georgia obviously has to throw here. So they go 4 wide, trips to the right. Alabama's playing a dime defense, but with 3 corners and 3 safeties instead of 4 corners and 2 safeties. This is clearly zone coverage. As you can see, the DBs aren't aligned atop the receivers. Most likely it will be a pattern match zone, of course, knowing Nick Saban. The front 5 are the stars here, though. They won 5 on 5. 5 blockers, 5 defenders. The cool thing about this look is that Alabama only has 1 defensive lineman, Justin Ebogbe, on the field. He's at nose tackle. And then you have Will Anderson on the C gap, and you have Chris Allen on the right C gap. Christian Harris and Dylan Moses are on either side of Justin Ebogbe on the line of scrimmage. They're both in the B gap. Love to see, Justin Ebogbe and Dylan Moses twist around a stunt, and the stunt that they twisted around was the inside linebacker Christian Harris crashing down on the center. So they used the center to create a stunt for a linebacker and another defensive lineman to then loop around on a twist and stunt play, and that's really creative. And so this keeps the middle and the outside contained, while Will Anderson with a fantastic rush off the edge as the left outside linebacker forces Bennett up to scramble. Justin Ebogbe chases him down, and Chris Allen, who was at the right outside linebacker but who's now in coverage, wraps him up for the tackle. It goes without saying that the coverage on this play was good. In particular, I want to focus on Josh Jobe at the top of the screen. I could barely tell that he was covering a receiver with how he blanketed the guy who was on him. And I think there's just excellent overall work here. And it's just an example of what can happen when this defense executes exactly what they need to execute to be successful. So we all hope to see more of this from the Alabama defense moving forward, whether you're an Alabama fan or not. I think we just like to see teams play to their best because that creates the best games. But overall, what do you think is the Alabama defense's ceiling for this year? Do you think they'll be really good? Do you think they'll just be good? Do you think they have a chance to be great? You can let me know. Anyway, if you like this video, check out the video here to the left. Is what the YouTube algorithm suggests that you watch. And they're usually right about that. And if you want to see the last video I made, click on the video to the right. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you for the next one.